Good morning, family. I wanted to talk about politics today. It's tied to religion, and it's tied to every single person in this country. Everybody was thought it was so funny and made so much fun of the situation where everyone voted for Trump and Elon and RFK and Vivek, uh, and then the very first Trump got the highest amount of Hispanic votes in history or something like that, and then immediately what did he do? He deported all the Hispanics. He then immediately started taxing every country outside of the United States when we get all our goods from outside the United States. So then all the cost of everything is going to go up. He took the Bible and he made it his own, and he put his signature on it, and now he's selling it. He's selling out the entire country. To who? To the monarchy, to the Pope, to something that's not part of who we are. Because technically, there's only three sovereign places in the world. There's the Vatican with the Pope, there is the monarchy in London proper, and there's Washington, D.C., which is owned by them. That place, those people are considered Americans. Only in that 10 square mile, that Constitution is owned by them. But who made the Bible to enslave our souls? The monarchy. Because everyone has the Spirit of Christ in them. And that book was to chain up everyone who has anything to do with the Spirit. If it seems so counteractive, right? To believe in God and all that and want community. And that's the exact thing that's tearing apart the world right now. If every single church there is gets all their money from taxing the community, taxing the time, taxing the money out of your pockets, and feeding you one way of thinking that is removed from reality. If every church was taken down and put into the community, into the homes and the streets and everything, we'd all live in Beverly Hills. There, with all the jobs that are going to be lost by Elon Musk's computers taking over and who they put in, there's going to be so many people out of work when the price of everything is going up. Because who's getting all the money? Those two and their friends. Who set up the Freemasons? The monarchy. Chained to Washington, D.C. to take over all the communities. And each community, we're here as regular people. Whether you're a Mason, whether you're a pastor, whether you're anything. The election has to do with slavery, along with all the things that go along with that, tied to organized religion of every country. That's the way it's always been. Tied to money, tied to enslaving us. As people, as human beings. What is an American? What is an Indian? What is a black person or a white person? We're all human beings. But we're all trapped under some kind of tyranny that has to do with these other things, to rise up against each other or whatever because of groups, rather than to look each other in the eyes and hold each other's hands as human beings because of life, not because of anything else, just because of being human beings and being alive and enjoying our time together. Not being, oh, well, I'll be with my friends when I'm at this place or that place. Wherever you go, everyone you meet is another human being. It doesn't have a description of a Catholic or a Hindu or um, African American or a Mexican. All those things are things to keep everyone apart and different ways to tax different groups and to get each group against any other group and to keep everyone chained up for eternity. And that is the honest to God truth that anybody can just look up anywhere and see it. It's facts. That's why Masons vowed on the Bible to keep their mouth shut. But then who owns the Bible? Who owns their voice and their soul? Who owns their family? Who owns you? Do you own you? This is a question that every single person needs to ask themselves. And how can we get that back when everyone is trapped under a tyranny since the beginning of mankind? Just think of how many doctors and nurses are going to lose their jobs once, and all of our information is plugged into the computer because of Elon's AI. They're going to lose their jobs, and when you go in, the computer is going to say, this is what's wrong with you, and it's going to give you what it wants to. And if it decides, it's time for this person to die, it's going to give you something else, and boom, you're going to have a heart attack and be dead. Anytime it wants to take your social profile, and then it's already got it. It's going to steal it and manipulate it through AI and act like you don't exist. I don't know the solution to this answer. But this is the question that every single person needs to ask themselves. This is the truth of our reality. And there's nowhere to just run and hide away from it all because you got to eat. You got to have friends. You got to have family. We got to keep community. But all the things of community are the things that are holding everyone down. How can anything be set up so that, well, if you swear on the Bible, then the Bible owns your soul based on Jesus Christ. But Jesus never came previously. He only came to each person individually when they are by themselves at their lowest and raised them up, not to just hand over themselves to another clan to be enslaved and then enslave their own kind. He freed us from death. It's such a confusing paradox. But everyone who's ever seen him saw their own ego. The inner eye of their mind turned around and saw themselves there. And ordained you there. That's freedom. That's a good place to start. But the builders, right? The builders cast him aside as the head and the foot. And so they chained everyone at the head and at the foot to serve the powers that be. But see, they're not builders, they're the builders, meaning they're using all of our bodies to complete their world domination tyranny. Each of us has a name, but the name, we didn't get to choose our name either, did we? And the system uses that name against us. We didn't get to choose our birthday, but the system uses that birthday against us. Everything that can be used to define a person is discrimination, but then the law says that discrimination, this is the law. What law? everything is based upon discrimination. Otherwise, your criminal record wouldn't matter. And neither would your features. So how do we get past that? Since it looks like the moment that the election was finalized, everyone's life is at stake in this country. But our lives have always been at stake. But it just keeps getting worse, you know? The last time Trump was in office, we had COVID. So a whole bunch of people lost their lives. And where they get the money from? They print money for free. It costs nothing to make money. They invented it. It's printed off of a zero balance checkbook at the Reserve Bank. Which, reserved for who? A reserve for me? Well, I'm here. Is it empty or is it full? What can we do? I'm ready to help everyone. How can I help everyone? I'm just trying to see. I love you all, my family. People of the world. That's what I have to offer. Thank you for being with me.